Tunisia, repatriation of hundreds of citizens from sub-Saharan Africa. Immigration. Around 300 Ivorians and Malians have started being repatriated this Saturday from Tunisia to escape the aggression and hostility they are victims of after a violent speech by Tunisian President Kaïs Saied. Around 300 Ivorians and Malians began repatriation from Tunisia on Saturday to escape aggression and hostility they are victims of following a violent speech by President Kaïs Saied against illegal sub-Saharan migrants. On the 21st of February, Kaïs Saied claimed that the presence in Tunisia of illegal immigrants from sub-Saharan African countries was a source of violence and crime and was a criminal enterprise aimed at changing the country's demographic composition. The speech, condemned by NGOs as racist and hateful, has sparked an uproar in Tunisia where sub-Saharans have been reporting a resurgence of aggressions targeting them, and dozens have rushed to their embassies to be repatriated. After a first flight bringing back 50 Guineans on Wednesday, Ivory Coast and Mali are evacuating 300 of the nationals by plane on Saturday. Students among the repatriates. About 145 people depart this morning after sleeping in hotels, said Jean Bidel Nabli, president of the Association of Ivorians active in Tunisia, who arrived at the airport shortly before their takeoff. According to the Ivorian ambassador in Tunis, Ibrahim Saïd, the number of returning candidates reaches 1,100 inches, a significant figure for the Ivorian community, which, with at least 7,000 people, is the largest in sub-Saharan Africa. In Tunisia, thanks to an entry visa exemption, some 30 Ivorian students, in regular situation, are part of the repatriates. They don't feel comfortable. Some have been victims of racist acts, some have finished their studies, others have interrupted them. Mitchell Ely Biovamet, president of the Association of Ivorian Students, explained over the phone, "There are assaults almost every day, threats, either they are put out by their leavers, or physically assaulted." He added, "A hate spew." Mali also chartered a plane to repatriate 150 people on orders of Junta Chief Assimi Goïta, who gave very firm instructions to deal with the distress of his compatriots. A Malian diplomat in Tunis said, under cover of anonymity, their plane was scheduled to take off at 9 a.m. Guineans returning on the first ever repatriation flight on Wednesday testified to the AFP to an outburst of hate after Kaïs Saied's speech, and several days of nightmare, as many of the 21,000 sub-Saharan African nationals officially registered in Tunisia, mostly in irregular situations, have lost their jobs, usually informal, and housing overnight as a result of the campaign against illegal immigrants. Dozens have been arrested during police raids, and some are still in custody. Others have testified to NGOs that there are militias that hunt them down, beat them and destroy them. This situation has prompted dozens of people to their embassies, especially the Ivory Coast and Mali, which have urgently decided to host up to 100 people. Tunisia wants to accelerate repatriations. Other migrants, even more vulnerable because they come from countries with no embassy in Tunis, have joined an impromptu camp outside the headquarters of the International Migration Office, IME, where they sleep in cold and unsanitary conditions. To accelerate repatriation, Tunisia has reportedly waived from claiming fines, 80 dinars, €25 per month of irregular stay, which, for some, exceeded €1,000. According to the Malian diplomat, among the returning candidates include dozens of students, sometimes from wealthy families, enrolled in universities and training centres created under cooperation between Tunisia and their countries. Frightened, many went home on their own throughout the week. According to one of their representatives, the Association of Foreign Students (ESAT) documented the assault, on the 26th of February, of 4 Ivorian female students at the exit of their university home and a Gabonese student in front of her home. The day after Kaïs Saied's speech, ESAT instructed sub-Saharan students to stay home, urging them not to go to class, a directive extended at least until the 6th of March.